You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You'd be like heaven to touch. I wanna hold you so much. At long last, love has arrived, and I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off you. Pardon the way that I stare. There's nothing else to compare. The sight of you leaves me weak. There are no words left to speak. But if you feel like I feel, please let me know that it's real. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off you. Just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You'd be like heaven to touch. I wanna hold you so much. At long last, love has arrived, and I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off you.
Well, you tortured me with enough stuff earlier before. I don't know if I can be cold open right now. No, I mean, I'm never certain about anything. But, I mean, just... You questioned whether or not I was right about the year that this movie came out even. That's the thing. You were like, oh no, it wasn't, Chris Hemsworth and his whole, he hadn't even done the Thor movies and he already did this movie. I'm like, no, that's completely wrong. This happened after that, and yet, no, don't believe me.
No, but are you normally sure about what you're talking about?
No, I'm usually not.
You can barely remember when you had breakfast.
I didn't have breakfast. At least I don't think I. No, I didn't have breakfast. No.
Yeah, the fact that you have to pause and go, I don't think I did.
Well, I had to think about it. I can't win. There's just no way to win with these people. With you people, it never ends. You make me question everything. Like, this is how I know people that are like, did I leave the gas on? I'm gonna wind up being one of these people that just, what's going on? Am I doing what the thing that I thought I was gonna be doing, like when I'm doing it, or am I gonna question it? Wait, oh god, stop. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Reservoir Slobs.
Why am I rat disease? Why am I rat disease? What does that even mean?
That's for you to figure out, Rap. Think about it. Think about it.
No.
Yes.
Well, I'll never get anywhere. I don't know.
That is what the rat disease is.
I know. It's just...
It's COVID 2.0.
Well...
See, that's why Rat told you to go get COVID.
No, I didn't tell him... No! I
wanted
didn't
me to
tell
do
him
how-
to do that. No, I didn't. I'm not even going to go into this. We've argued this back and forth, and there's no winning it with you people. I'm just... I told him to go eat rocks, too. So that turned into, go. He wants me to go smoke crack. No.
Yeah,
no.
quit telling people to smoke crack.
I
Rat.
told him
Take
to eat a
people.
rock. I told him to eat a
Stop it,
rock.
Rat. Stop it. I don't want to smoke
People are-
crack, you
You're
fucking
terrible.
bastard.
You're terrible. Terrible. God, I don't... What have they
Welcome,
done to Rat
everybody.
today? What have they done to Rat today? What have they done every time I've been around them? This is what they do. They
I don't
just
know what
they
the
back
fuck
me
you're
into a
talking-
corner.
What are you
If-
talking about?
Just wait till we finally get around to the Mamma Mia stuff. You'll be able to watch
Oh.
Diddy and Rat go at each other
Oh,
in a
God.
perpetual state of confusion.
Not that. I forgot about that.
You just gotta figure out when.
Yep.
When is that happening? Because that's gonna be a shit show and a half. Because
I don't want to know.
It's gonna. Be,
I don't want to.
It's gonna
I
be
don't
me
wanna
and Diddy fucking fighting over the fact that Mamma Mia either is good or bad.
No. I'm not ready for that. I won't ever be ready for that. It's probably better that you don't give me warning. That way I don't have some sort of mental breakdown beforehand.
Despite all his rage, Pinky. Despite all his rage.
But that's
Get
a
trapped
part
like a rat. Exactly.
Well, see, it's for entertainment, Rat. It's for pure entertainment value.
He's tried to argue, but he realizes he's entertained by it too.
But yeah. And there's no way to flip this. I can't. So it's just yeah. Well, I mean, I have got them back in the past. It's just my victories are few and far between.
Oh, don't worry. Since we're gonna torture you with the fucking Mamma Mia, there's probably something we can torture Esau with.
Yeah, he's smart enough not to let on to his fucking secret. Like,
Oh,
this
don't
hurts
you
me
worry.
things.
I remember.
There's a few.
Yeah, I know, but I can't remember. That's
Barbie
the point.
Girl.
Yep.
Barbie Girl is one of them.
Well,
The sole song responsible for my insanity.
yeah. Well, that if a song was going to do it, that would do it. So yeah, I can see that.
No suit dislike. Rat didn't feel like going and getting a suit, so we decided that okay, fuck it, we'll just stay.
Oh, blame it all on me.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I always put the glasses on.
I They're
Oh,
they're all the way downstairs. Do you know how far I have to go? I have to leave my room. I have to go through the hallway, down the stairs, through
there
the
you
kitchen.
go. I made up for it.
I mean, okay, no. It makes you look like you're trying to cover up your forehead. There you go.
now I can't fucking read the chat, but that's fine.
You don't
I'll
need
go
to
ahead
read
and
the
welcome
chat.
for everyone. We've got Pinky Gulf City Salmon, Turish, some asshole called a Smoking Rat, and Disky Fringo. Welcome, everyone. And Pinky says, Zoob, you bully, and friends, you smaller bully. This is accurate.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we blame everything on Rat? No, not everything. Just when it's his fault.
Just, yeah.
Oh, when it's my fault, which is every time.
Yes.
It's not my fault, but it's
Exactly.
somehow
Who told Blackout to elbow drop his mattress, huh?
That's true. That one was definitely my fault. I'm just upset he didn't wear the luchador mask like I told him to, you know.
Surprisingly hard to find
Lord,
luchador
God
masks.
damn it.
Yeah,
And welcome, Taco Stangia.
Hey,
Oh, hey.
Stancia. Which of the tacos is this, Rand? Have you learned your lesson?
I don't remember which one the other one is. I'm the don't don't put me on the spot like that. It's not fair.
Hashtag me taco.
Exactly.
Hear me? Great. It's gonna be a movement one day, and I'll be the sole
One
cause
day,
of
it's
it.
been a movement for like 2 years now.
Yeah, but it's still small, so it's okay. I don't know.
That's what you get for being a fucking burrito lover.
I don't like burritos either.
Oh, he's a heathen. He prefers his chimichangas.
I don't eat those either. I don't eat Mexican food. Why am I telling you this? Shut up, Rat. Shut up.
not even in a panada or a humble churro.
No.
Enchiladas.
Actually, I've never. No, I've never have had that stuff.
Well, I recommend an empanada. It's basically like a Mexican deep fried apple pie.
Yeah, I don't.
Elbow dropping a mattress doesn't sound like a bad idea.
It's a bad idea when you have mattresses that will compress clear to the floor.
Look, his mattress was basically less support than a piece of cardboard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which, thank you everyone who actually commissioned me so I could afford a new one.
Yeah.
It has worked. Ah, my back is not killing me anymore, which is a fucking step up.
Mm-hmm.
All I did was shine a light on the problem. Your mattresses were too thin.
By
Yeah.
telling me to elbow drop to the point where I
If you
actually hurt
had-
myself.
If you had a regular mattress, you wouldn't have hurt your elbow.
And if you did crack cocaine, you wouldn't have felt the pain.
See, there's also that.
And if you just gone ahead and gotten COVID like he told you to, you'd know not to listen to him.
I didn't tell him to get COVID.
You told me
I
to get
didn't.
COVID.
No, I didn't. You turned it into that to just.
Why
To
would I
destroy
turn
me.
something like that into anything?
All I said was, never mind. I'm not even going into it. I'm not.
Oh, come on, Rat.
No.
We don't
It's
need
like-
to turn anything to destroy you. You're an
No,
engine
I-
of self-destruction.
We're just opening the door and letting you through. That's like a Looney Tunes fucking yeah, at this point, just painting the wall of fucking
having
tunnel.
one of those moments where I'm realizing what I'm doing and I know what to do and I can't do it. And it's like, I'm gonna keep going, aren't I? Yes, you are.
Yes, absolutely.
Ugh.
Spin him around until he gets dizzy, and then just let him walk. See where he's going. All we need now is David Attenborough to narrate him.
You know, like that's one of the feelings I really dislike. I don't like being dizzy. It really, really fucks with me. I don't like to be dizzy.
Interesting.
Yeah, like I tried to I had a really bad experience on a tilt-a-whirl once. That was fucking. I never went on one again. Of course, they wanted me off the ride because it's a tilt-a-whirl. You're spinning and you're spinning, so it's like double
Right.
spinning. Yeah,
Yeah.
on one of the arcs around, I just threw up and sprayed the guy running the ride, so they shut it down and kind of get him out of here. So I was like, I think it was 6 or 7. So yeah,
Well,
wasn't a good time.
I mean, it works.
Yeah. I've never cared much for amusement park rides in general. It's not my thing.
Yeah.
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 The only time I've enjoyed it was when I was in Denmark, because they served alcohol. It was a good time.
That just sounds like an
I can
accident
understand
waiting.
that.
It sounds like an accident waiting to happen.
Oh,
Hey, you want to go
yes.
on these crazy rides that throw you all over the place and be drunk at the same time?
Well, it's no different from laying in the bed of a truck while it's driving while you're drunk. That's a hell of a ride too.
True.
Wait.
Also take the reins for a bit, Aesop.
All
Are
right.
you talking about yourself there, Izu?
Yes.
Or are you talking about me?
Yes,
I was
I've
like-
I've done that.
But I was
Look, we
gonna-
wanted Taco Bell. One of us claimed he was sober enough to drive. I decided to lay in the bed of the truck.
Okay.
I was not
okay.
sober enough to drive.
Right. I've also laid the back of a truck in a pickup bed drunk while someone else drove. I've done this as well. So I was like, how did I tell you about that? Like I'm trying to remember. So yeah.
It's just a fun ride staring up at the night sky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, it would be something Blackout would do too, probably.
You would think the guy named Blackout would have more stories about alcohol, but he doesn't. It's weird.
Well, it's because he blacked out.
But yeah. He doesn't remember. Yeah.
And I think everyone's here heard the story about the time he had to crawl home.
Yeah, probably.
But welcome everyone. Today we'll be talking about Bad Times at the El Royale,
Yep.
starring Jeff Bridges and
Jeff Bridges is in it. I cannot remember the I can't
Ham.
remember. Yeah, John Hamm
John Hamm.
and
The
the other big name would be Chris Hemsworth, I think.
Yeah.
Everyone else I didn't really know.
the
I think Rose is kind of done other stuff. Boots.
Yeah. I want to say Emily had done something else. Wasn't she in Nice Guys? The Nice Guys?
Emily?
Wasn't she the one that they were trying to
no,
find?
No.
That's Dakota Johnson. Also, she's mostly known for the 50 Shades films.
Okay.
Yeah.
That and she was in Social Network.
Never watched that because I didn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch that either.
I mean, yeah, there's some. It's mainly like those people that are known in the film. The rest is kind of like B-grade actors.
Yeah,
Mm.
not as well known.
But
But yeah.
honestly, they do a fucking good job.
Mm-hmm. I don't know where I don't really know where to start on it. It's an interesting thing because the setting is kind of interesting. It's a hotel that's literally like on the
Motel,
border,
isn't it?
or motel that's on the border of California and Nevada, and the state line runs right down the middle of the hotel. It's kind of
Yes.
a weird setup.
Mm.
It's kind of interesting.
Honestly, I think it's.
I feel it appropriate to go state line right about now, but let's not get into that.
Right.
Well, honestly, like before we even go into too far into this, I would recommend people going blind watching this. This is like
Yeah.
it's really good for a first
Yeah.
viewing.
Yeah, that was the thing. I didn't really get a chance to ask that, but like it's a good movie. I think people would like it, and
Yes.
I was kind of worried about giving stuff away about it at the same time, but like it's
Well, again, it's a. I think the best way of describing it as a murder mystery.
Murder mystery / thriller to a degree.
yeah, that's good.
The less you know about it, for your first viewing, the better, because it is one of those films that if you like thrillers or murder mysteries, it's that perfect line.
Yeah.
And it,
Welcome, Keishel.
hey, Kishore.
Yeah. Hi, Keishel.
Yeah, but it folds that line perfectly,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone is pretty much perfectly cast.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Everybody.
No one feels like the odd man out on casting at all.
No, they all play their parts really, really well.
Yeah.
Um.
Um, Again, I have not watched the movie. Probably last time I watched it was like 3.5 years ago. So I'm a little rusty on the memory, but I do remember plot points all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
So if okay, I guess like spoilers. If you haven't watched it and want to watch it, fucking watch it. It's fucking good.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if there's rewatchability too much of it.
No, I think once you've seen it, it kind of loses something. But as a first watch, it was pretty good.
Yes.
Wow, any sort of murder mystery is going to lose a little something on the after
That's
the first watch.
Well,
That's
obviously.
true. But it is still a cool movie.
Yeah,
Yes, yes, it is.
I think a lot of the scenes, particularly towards the later half, hold up,
Mm-hmm.
even knowing what's coming.
I
Yeah.
would even say the earlier parts as well. Like again, the movie builds tension in a very solid way,
Mhm.
which I think we talked about that not too long ago, where we felt like something was missing from a lot of movies.
That slow build.
Yes,
Yeah.
the slow build
Yeah.
and
This.
just payoff.
Yeah. This does do that.
Yes.
And for a more modern movie, it's kind of refreshing because don't see it that much these days.
Exactly. So yeah, it's good. You watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. Go
It's
see it.
it's suspenseful enough that some of the scenes even have, well, they're not outright jump scares, have jump scare quality.
Yeah.
Not like not the cheap type either. Like it's
No.
actually like built in a good fucking way where the payoff actually is a payoff.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta take off my glasses because
Yeah, that's fine.
it feels wrong not being in a suit and having the fucking sunglasses on now.
Well, that's my fault. So deal
Yes.
with
Damn
it.
it, Rat.
God damn it, Fred. You could have gotten the suit. You had time?
There was time, Rat. There was time now.
Well,
There
yeah,
was time.
but
Time is just a concept.
Time is fleeting. Madness takes its toll.
Can you describe time for us, Fred?
no, 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 I can't.
It's on your side, Rat. It's on your side.
Not. That's a fucking movie reference, okay? That's Fallen.
That's also a solid reference, but
Mhm.
Yes, it is, but it makes me think of the
and
movie
also
Fallen
was
immediately.
the one before that as a reference to Rocky Horror Picture
Mhm.
and the
I
Time
see.
Warp.
Yeah, I kind of forget about Rocky Horror because I've seen it so many times. I've seen Rocky Horror too many times, and I don't like it almost because I've seen it so many times.
I've only seen it once.
I've seen it a handful of times.
I've probably seen that movie like 60 or 70 times.
Actually,
I
I've
just-
seen the spiritual sequel to it more than I've actually seen the.
Shock Therapy.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
That one was pretty good.
I found Rocky Horror pretty early in life and watched it a lot and watched it so much that I literally made myself sick of it. So, which I didn't know was that's the first time I ever found out I can literally make myself sick of movies that I liked. I didn't know that I could do that before Rocky Horror, so it was a learning experience. Don't do that. Don't watch too many movies or the same movie too many times.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, some movies are like that.
Yeah.
That's why I'm very careful about the movies that I fucking love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't. It's almost like you can't watch them too much
Yes.
because if you do, you start to lose. It starts to lose something.
Yeah, like Kung Fu Hustle or Kung Pao. I refuse to watch them too close together
Right.
because I love those films, but I don't want to get tired of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which I mean, a little bit of a self promotion. We are going to upload something that ranks all the movies we've talked about up until last week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that probably will be up by the probably over the next month.
Sometime, yeah.
Ah,
But back to the bad times of the El Royale.
Sure.
Yeah, the buildup is good. It doesn't rely too heavily on. I don't know. I kind of feel like a lot of your jump scares are basically just pressure release valves,
yes.
Yeah.
and it doesn't really do that a whole lot. Even when you have sort of a jump scare moment if something's built up, it just keeps rolling into it, so it keeps building.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. It like you said, it's pressure release valve. It occasionally brings it down, but doesn't completely deflate it. It's still on the rise. So
Mhm.
Yes, it is. And again, I watched it in the worst fucking place possible.
An airplane.
Mm-hmm. And I watched the edited version, like the TV
Oh,
version. Yeah, so the plot wise, I got to experience it fairly decently. But then there's some of the fucking gore that I missed out on. So I had to rewatch it, and it's like, holy shit! I wish I watched it just normally the first time.
well, I mean, I did see a lot of reviews kind of playing up the gore in this one. It's not really a gory movie, though.
No, it's about as
Like,
no,
actually,
not really.
it's less gory than a Tarantino film.
yeah, Reservoir Dogs has a hell of a lot more blood than this.
Yeah, actually, I would say it's closer to Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, at least in the amount of actual kills. Yeah,
Yes.
than how much you really see.
Yeah, and honestly, I think it kind of works. What's the problem, Rod? You don't like the fact that I'm drinking pear soda?
Because I can't get pear soda. Okay, that's why. And fuck you for drinking it and just lording it over me in front of my fucking face every time. Fucking annoying.
Oh, I'm
Don't
sorry.
don't torture me. Don't fucking start. You tortured me before the show started.
Well,
Okay?
now I have to see if I can't find pear soda.
Mm,
I'm gonna
yes,
be.
Aesop's gonna join the upper class.
Mm,
Don't be a peasant, Rad. Find yourself some pear
right.
soda.
Well, I can't get the kind you have, and that's the thing. I want to try the stuff you have, but it's only yeah,
You chokes on it.
instant vengeance. It's great. I love this.
It went into my lungs. uh, Amazon? I actually don't think it is on Amazon.
I think we tried looking. Yeah, I don't think we found it on Amazon. That was the thing.
I mean,
Yeah, never
yeah.
try to breathe pear soda. Never try to breathe Skittles either. Just for the record, never try to breathe Skittles. It's
Why
bad
would
time.
you do that in the first place?
I don't recommend trying to breathe things that aren't, gaseous to begin with.
Well, I'm just saying, and I'm not going into the story about why I breathe Skittles because no, it's not safe for this stream. It's just not. So
That's for
It's not safe for any stream, Rat. You're breathing
No.
Skittles.
well, that's not safe for streams. Just don't breathe Skittles. It's not good. Anyway,
Alright,
All right, so we're trying to blow the rainbow.
oh, that sounds so
choke
wrong.
on it.
No.
Choke on the
Yeah.
Skittles. Choke on the rainbow. Rad.
Oh no. I'm never gonna be able to eat Skittles again now. Yeah.
Hey,
Welcome,
well,
Roman.
god damn it, you were on point. God damn it. But yeah, no,
But
honestly, do we even want to spoil anything of this movie?
we kind of have to actually talk about it. I think at
Uh,
this point, we've given everyone who's not seen it a chance to back out and, plan to see it before he listening to us.
all right.
Mm.
Well,
Oh yeah, there's
you've been warned.
yeah.
Though there's a
Yeah,
cult.
after this, it's entirely on you, and you're just getting our opinion on what you just watched.
Yeah.
Yes, I just spoiled. There's a cult.
Hmm.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's basically Manson.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
That's what popped into my head the entire time. Just wait. This this seems very familiar. I don't know why. Which is
Even down to the mustache they put on Hemsworth.
yes.
Yeah.
It's
Because
like
spoiler there, Chris Hemsworth plays basically he plays Billy, which is their analogy for Manson.
yes.
Yep.
Your hippie, anti-establishment cult leader that wants Boots, the younger girl, as his plaything.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Uh, honestly, when I watched it, the second time, it it reminded me of another movie, which I just it made me so happy because Midsummer is a thing, and I like to think this it's the same fucking setup.
Mm.
Haven't seen Midsummer. I've heard it's all right, but
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah, I
good.
haven't seen it either.
Again,
I have not seen it.
that's another one we should watch, and
Yeah.
like we still owe Stantia a movie pick.
yep. Now, I'll be fair. Pretty much the biggest thing I've heard from Midsummer is the whole girl boss thing, which is just about the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. But it's also, I can see where you might think that, because that's where my thoughts went when Emily, the other girl, just blows John Hamm's character away with the shotgun.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought he was gonna be in a lot more of the film, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty prominent at the start of the film, and then
He dies in like
expect
the first third.
yeah,
Yes.
his character is not very long lived.
Uh, Again, the close comparison is well, when we watched the Hunt, just
Mhm.
that moment of okay, this person has to be the lead. Fuck no.
The other thing that I like about Bad Times at the El Royale, it does have a lot of kind of like flashbacks or callbacks and like little scenes explaining the backstory of the characters
Mhm.
and
And it-
how and that to me that kind of fits in with the name Bad Times at the El Royale. They seem like normal people, they're all decent people, but they've all gone through some pretty horrific stuff. They've
Yes.
all dealt with some seriously messed up shit. And
And even though,
out of them all, John Hamm, he's posing as a vacuum salesman,
yes.
Mhm.
and he's actually an FBI agent. But that was kind of the thing about watching his character. It was like maybe not the best FBI agent. He
No,
kind
I
of
mean,
makes some mistakes.
I made the point. I pointed out he's there on cleanup after they've already run the op.
Yeah,
He's not a field agent of any sort.
yeah, and he calls in, but gets told directly by, well, it's supposed to be Hoover,
Yep.
but Hoover literally tells him, I'm going to repeat myself to make sure that this is important. Do not interfere with the two girls, because he reports that he's witnessed a kidnapping in progress. And Hoover tells him, don't interfere with it. Leave it. And he interferes.
Yep.
Out of his sense of trying to do the right thing, he ends up paying for it, and paying for it big, because he ends up getting both barrels from a fucking shotgun. It was, and that's really the first like kind of jump scare of the movie to me. That's the first whoa, because you don't expect it.
Yeah, we had people actually jump at that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again,
But
you don't expect it to happen, so it obviously it's gonna be like it's gonna come out of left field. Because again, John Hamm is really fucking good. I want to see him in the lead of more films.
Mm-hmm.
But
He's usually comic
yes,
relief in the stuff he does, but this, as him more serious, though he does a little bit of comedy or comic relief for the movie, was a lot better to watch.
yes. I mean, even in Baby Driver, he is playing it straight. He's
Mm-hmm.
fucking wonderful in that. Or in the Young Doctor's Notebook, where he plays an older version of Daniel Radcliffe.
Mm-hmm.
Just fucking great. Though I do not recommend anyone watching that if they don't like depressing dark comedies, because that's a hard sell. It
Yeah.
really is. But yeah, I
Yeah.
want to see him do more. Like, he's such a great actor.
This is, I've never seen Baby Driver, so this is one of my first times actually seeing him do serious acting.
Yeah. Which again, that's a movie we need to watch. We've already gone through the Cornetto trilogy.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's great in it, and the fact that he's on the 1/3 of the fucking film, and we're still praising it, probably says a lot about the rest.
Well, I mean, it does create an interesting setup there because it's focusing so heavily on him for that third of the film that when he does die, it's incredibly shocking. And it's like, oh, well, who are we going to focus on now?
yeah, it does that.
And from that point, honestly, like, yeah, you get the backstory for Emily and Rose, and you get the backstory for Bridges' character, Father Flynn, but it mostly focuses on the singer, Darlene.
Yes.
Yeah. Which, that's probably the one thing about the movie that personally I wasn't a big fan of, but that's just my opinion. The movie is still good. I didn't quite understand why it focused on her singing quite so much, but really you can't take her parts out.
Yeah.
It would destroy
I have
the
a
way the
theory
movie-
on that, and I believe it's because she's the producer for the movie.
Oh wait.
Oh,
she
okay.
was?
That
I
would
believe
make
so, yes.
that would make
She's
more
an
sense
actress
then.
and producer. I think this is one of her first productions.
Okay. Well, that would make more sense. I mean, yeah, it makes sense then. But
Let me double check.
it's interesting.
I could be wrong, but I think that's what I read.
The producer Jeremy Lachman and Drew Goddard. So
Okay.
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot that she does do a lot of singing, and there's a lot of parts where she sings, but they are usually like it sets up who her character is, what she's about, and you really, even though I'm like personally not a fan of it, you can't really take any of her parts out. The movie would lose something.
It's relevant to her connection with Father Flynn.
Yes, it is. And
which does kind of have to be there for the third act.
Yes, it's all integral.
Yeah,
and that's the thing.
Everything is building on everything else, and that's kind of why it needs to be there. Otherwise, something would be missing, or they had to kind of integrate something else into the story to make
exactly.
Well, see, and they use it really well when they do use it, because there was a comment early on when it's still following Ham when he's finding all the hidden rooms behind the two-way mirrors.
Yes,
and he's finds hers and he turns on the speaker. There was a comment about that scene going too long because he's like watching her and Flynn and Emily and all that. Yeah, and you've still got her back there singing while he's watching Emily drag Rosen and everything.
Yeah,
but I think that was actually a brilliant setup as far as cinematography goes.
It does.
Yes.
It does. It
because
works.
you've got all of the characters there. You've got him watching them, and even though he's actively watching Rose and Emily, because of how they set it up, she's over there singing. And before that, you see Father Flynn, who's tearing up the floor of his hotel room, stop to listen. So while that's happening, you know what every character is doing precisely at that moment.
Yes, that was really smart. It does work.
Actually, it's one of the few like murder mystery feeling movies that actually does manage to like get you on your toes by showing what everyone is doing. Because normally
Mhm.
that would deflate the mystery, but because they're
No,
drip feeding us information, it kind of works.
Yes.
And
Yeah. It's just My personal thing is just I don't know. I always get weird about people singing in movies. It's just weird. I don't know. It's probably because I just have such a thing with musicals and not liking them, but that's just me.
no need to be so cynical, right?
I'm just saying that's one of the things
Yeah,
that
I get that.
I did don't like in movies.
Yeah, no.
And yeah,
Again, it just depends on what you're looking for in a movie and
but
what you
like
want to have in it.
that's the thing. Even though like personally I don't really enjoy that stuff and I don't like it particularly, it needs to be there and it doesn't ruin the movie. It's not like it ruins the movie for me. I still think this movie was great.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so even with that against it for me, it's still a fucking awesome movie.
Right.
So
It's not some poorly used Chekhov gun in this case, because
no.
it's used to set up scenes. It's used to set up character interactions.
Yeah.
It's even useful within the exact plot of the movie itself when
Mm-hmm.
she's singing to cover the sound of Father Flynn tearing up the floor in her room.
Yep.
Yep.
That's another really like tense part of the movie because
Mhm.
at that point Emily is behind the glass looking in on them and they kind of know that and she's singing to hide the fact that Father Flynn is in there tearing up her floorboards to get to the money and he's
Yeah.
using a hammer but she's singing and clapping she looks like she's keeping time by clapping but she's actually hiding his hammer strokes prying up the floorboard trying to get the nails up.
Well, see, that's what makes that scene so great too. Is she is keeping time, and
Yeah.
he's watching her the whole time to know
Yep.
when to strike with the hammer.
Yeah, that is a really cool scene. I thought that was really neat. And even at the very end of it, it shows Emily. She's got her hands on the shotgun looking through the glass, and she starts tapping her finger in time while she's sitting there with the shotgun. Like she's
Mhm.
so captivated by her performance, she's matching the time too. And okay, it's nothing. And she walks away. They get away with it, and Flynn gets the money out, which is really cool. Like like you said, if their singing parts aren't in there, it the movie wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Right.
Again, it is a important part of the film. So taking it out, yeah, it won't work as well.
Well, that was one of the things we talked about. This movie's total runtime is 2 hours and 17 minutes, I think.
Yeah,
And
something like that.
none of
Or
it's filler.
no, there's not really much you could cut from this movie
No.
without ruining something. Like the closest you could come in is some of Hemsworth's character's backstory.
Yeah.
But even then, that kind of is needed because everyone else is so fleshed out. So you
Yeah.
kind of have to
The
add
the only reason I say you could cut that is it's illustrating how much of a monster he is, but they also sort of illustrate that pretty well later on.
True.
Yes.
I would not like it cut, but
No.
it's the only part I could argue could be cut.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's honestly kind of says it all because we don't want it to be cut. A
Mm-mm.
scene that could
No.
be.
No, that's the thing. There's nothing in this movie that I would want removed at all. I wouldn't want it cut down at all.
Exactly.
And it is a little bit more on the longer side, but it's totally it doesn't like 2 hours and 17 minutes goes by and doesn't feel like that did. It's just really good, and I don't know. I think the movie does a good job of pulling you in and like kind of like immersing you into their universe. Like
Yes.
you're watching it, but you're like in it. You're invested in it. That's why I like the
Mhm.
movie.
You
It paces well.
Yes.
absolutely. And yeah, again, this is a good fucking comparison to like last week's movie we talked about.
Dragon Blade.
Yeah, not
Hmm.
Dragon Dagger or Dragon Ball. Right.
No, it's Dragon Blade. I've got that fixed. I've got that figured out now.
Dragon Quest Rat.
No, it's Dragon Blade. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that had it's got too many spikes of end of the movie right at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whereas this, you've got a lot of climaxes through the movie
Yeah.
without ever really signaling finality too much.
Yeah. Again, it's that build up, small release, build, but continues to build constantly while you have.
Yes.
A lot of films has the problem
Mhm.
of one spike, downtime, and then just slowly build and then spike.
Yeah.
So again, this just overall, it's just a good fucking thriller.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. It is.
Interestingly enough, I did look at some of the reviews on this. Got to really disagree with a lot of people. Heavily compared it to stuff like Pulp Fiction, and rated
Just
it poorly as an homage to stuff like that. It's like no,
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 that's
no,
the
no.
thing. I don't agree with that. I don't think it's. I don't think it's like that at all. I wouldn't compare it to Pulp Fiction, honestly.
No, this is some like one of the few films I can say is very independent. Like
Mm,
you can't really compare it to something like 100%. If you want to compare
No.
it to the feel of Tarantino films, yes, you can
yeah,
to a certain extent. But
Yeah.
it's more of a thriller, and Tarantino's film is not thrillers.
Like if I was gonna honestly, like for some reason, the way that this movie is shot and the fact that it's a hotel or a motel with fucking the storm. There's a storm that rolls in, and that's kind of going the whole time. The movie reminds me a lot of an older movie called Identity, which is also
Yes.
at a motel. It's a totally different plot. It's a totally different setup, but it's that same type of thriller that what's going on, and I would compare it to Identity more than I would Pulp Fiction, honestly. But
yeah.
that's just me. I like both movies. I thought they were excellent thrillers, suspense, build up, and all that. So
Well, yeah, like again, comparing it to anything else wouldn't do any of the movies justice, really.
no,
No, there's not really any sort of direct comparison other than in very tiny details, such as character explanations and stuff like that.
hmm yeah. Like the closest thing I could think of to compare it to would have been Identity, but they're not the same at all.
No,
So
Yeah, no.
no, very much not. But
so
Mhm.
all right, let's have a big question here. Of the characters in this movie, who did you feel was the most compelling?
That is a good question.
I most compelling, honestly, I like Flynn.
Hold on, fucking Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges.
Yep,
Yeah,
Jeff
I
Bridges.
really like the way I mean, he's posing as a priest or a father, and he kind of is admitting, oh, I have memory issues, and there's times where they find him and he's just standing there not doing anything,
Yes.
and and the truth is he's not a priest at all. He's a bank robber. He robbed an armored car. He got caught, and his partners all double crossed each other, and they died. Even his brother died to try and get that money, but they managed to get it hid in the hotel, and he served time and he's finally gotten out. but he has dementia. He's losing his memory. And so that's actually a genuine thing about him, which I, I have memory issues myself. So I kind of identify with that naturally.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I don't know, like, even though he's a bad guy himself,
Even then, I hesitate to actually call him a bad guy. I
I
mean,
don't really want to call him a bad guy either. Yeah.
even during the heist, when they flash back to that, he basically goes through trouble of making sure nobody dies.
Yeah. He's trying to just steal the money. He's not trying to hurt people, you know? And yeah, it kind of sets that up. He does seem like a redeemable guy, even though he's a
Oh,
criminal.
yeah. I mean, he got 15 years for grand larceny.
Yeah. Yeah. And as the movie goes on, like, he does try to do a little bit, some shady stuff. He tries to drug Darlene, the singer,
Yeah.
and she clocks him for it because she doesn't trust him.
Mm-hmm.
Because of her backstory, she's dealt with shady people and people trying to manipulate her in the past, and she catches on to him.
Yep. When all he's trying to do is knock her out so he can pull up the floor of her motel room, because he can't remember whether it's room 4 or room 5.
Exactly. It wasn't that he was trying to do anything to her, and that's what she thought. He was trying to take advantage of her. He just tried to get her out of the way so he can get in the hotel or into her room. And it's like, that's the thing. It's all of these different pieces of their backstories that give them advantages and like insight into the other characters, and they all play off of what they know. They're reacting to situations from their past experiences, and it kind of tells you all of those past experiences so you understand where they're coming from, why they're doing what they're doing. And it's really good at doing that. I like the way that movie is set up that way.
Interestingly enough, I'd say in the converse side of that, Emily, like, you get the most direct feel from her backstory, but also it's the least compelling as to why she is who she is.
Right.
Like, she's Rose's older sister, and they were sexually abused by their father as children, and then ended up in Billy's little cult after coming out to California.
Yeah.
And doesn't entirely explain her just blowing away Ham.
No.
Breaks in to rescue Rose, who she has tied up because she doesn't trust Billy. So she kidnaps Rose to try to deprogram her from the cult.
Yeah. But her reaction to go straight to violence and kill people, they don't really explain why she's that way.
No.
And it makes me wonder, like, had she dealt with that kind of stuff before? Was, what brought her to be that quick to resort to violence?
No.
I don't know if it's because she spent time in the cult and she kind of got exposed to that, or if it's just her desperation to protect her sister, because Rose has killed people. Like, that's the thing they don't really let you know until later on. She has murdered some people it's national. It's like in the local news.
Yeah.
She murdered some pretty prominent people, and maybe she's trying to protect her for that. I don't know, but it still doesn't explain the I'm not happy with people to I'm just going to start killing people. And that is kind of they don't explain that very well, and you can understand why she's trying to save her sister, but the level of violence is kind of strange.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I'm not too upset with that, because not everything needs to be spelled out, and I think that
no, it's just that they tried to spell it out and didn't really.
Yeah.
I mean, if they'd left it completely blank, I wouldn't have a problem either.
Yeah.
It would work. I almost think it'd work better if they didn't explain it. But
it's just when you go through the trouble of explaining it, and it stands out as the least explanative of the backstories, you kind of notice.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah, especially when the rest of the explanations are fairly fucking spot on with what
Yeah.
how it's done.
Yeah, I mean, and I think kind of it partly is the fact that it melds in with Rose's backstory too. Like
Yes,
it works really well explaining Rose's character.
Yes.
it
It
does.
doesn't so much for Emily. I mean, the closest you can draw is maybe she just hates all men now.
It could be. Uh, that was the other thing. Like you were asking about the characters and who we identify with. Obviously, it's Father Flynn for me, but the other character, it's not so much an identification. I don't identify with
Well,
him
it was the question was what which character was more compelling.
or
Yeah.
compelling. I also really am. Rose stands out to me because of a couple different scenes. She just kind of seems like this lost, unaffected, like disassociative person. And at one point, she gets out stools and gets up on the chandelier, and she's swinging from the chandelier at one point because she's like in this "I'm just playing"
Yeah,
kind of
you'd
a mood.
almost call her a flower child.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very, very like a hippie. Just I'm here to have fun, and yet and they hadn't implied it yet. Like it's not directly explained that she's committed the murders at that point, but the motel, I don't know what he is, Miles.
The
It,
only employee of the hotel,
yeah,
pretty
the
much.
only employee. He's been caught by Rose and Emily. Emily has him tied up, and she's sitting there with a shotgun, and he's like, "You don't have to kill me." And he even says, "I don't know your names." And that makes Emily pause, like kind of this look of maybe I don't have to kill him. You because she says you've seen too much. He's like, I won't say anything. I have, I don't even know your names. And Rose, swinging from the chandelier, is like, oh, I'm Rose. That's my sister Emily. What's your name? And it comes across very innocent.
it
But
does.
but the thing is there's no innocence there. She
Nope.
did that because it will make Emily have to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And
it's
that's
not
the
even
thing.
that because the next line after that is that it's because Emily walks away.
Mhm.
Rose points out it's not up to her whether he gets killed. It's not up to Emily where he gets killed.
Yeah.
She's called Billy and he's on his way and he gets to decide.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I don't know if Rose is operating from the brainwashing of Billy or if she literally has like gone full turn and she is just evil now. But it makes her seem to
I
me
don't
I
even know
have
if
to
I'd call her evil. She's definitely a sociopath, though.
yeah, it just makes me feel like there's something really twisted about Rose. More so than almost anybody else. Billy is just as twisted, but for some reason I get the feeling that Rose is going to turn into something. If the
Oh,
movie
yeah.
didn't end it the way it does, Rose would have turned into something far worse than
Yeah,
Billy.
Billy was fairly self contained in his own little egotistical sex cult thing he was doing.
Yeah, I
Again,
think
that's why I would say these connection to fucking Manson kind of really stands out with that
Hmm.
character because yeah, he is
yeah,
like that character is fucking bad, like bad guy, but
oh yeah,
how much of that is his doing and how much is just someone thinking they're doing the right thing that he
Well, I
does.
mean, he does play fucking Russian roulette with their lives, so
yeah,
True, but
and well, Russian roulette, but actual roulette.
yeah.
yes.
Instead of Russian roulette with the gun, he's actually using a roulette
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
wheel table to determine who gets killed, which is weird. That scene pretty much from then on when Billy shows up, the rest of that movie is just like I don't know. It's definitely the payoff. It's
Yeah.
Yes.
I am fully into it. I want to
Yeah.
see how this ends.
Billy is definitely outright evil, but he's a big fish in a little pond.
Yes.
Yeah,
Rose would eventually outgrow all that probably and just be evil.
yeah,
Yes. So again, with I guess that's not like fucking comparison to Tarantino with Once Upon a Time
like
in Hollywood.
yeah,
Mm.
like of the like all of the stuff that goes on, like we were saying, there's small builds of tension and kind of relief valves or
Yes.
like moments that pay off, and then it keeps building, and it builds to that last scene with the roulette table and Billy confronting everybody and trying to get information out of them and try to play with their lives.
Mm-hmm.
That is the payoff of this movie, and it is fucking awesome. I love
Yes.
the ending of this movie is great. It's a great fucking ending. And I'd love to go into it more, but I don't want to ruin
Right.
some of the singing and stuff because like that's still in it. Like the
Yes.
singing comes up again, and I don't want to ruin anything for that.
Well,
That
I
was
would
just
say
fucking brilliant.
probably the very final scene of the movie could have been cut, but that would have saved, I don't know, maybe 3 minutes off of the whole runtime.
Yeah, really.
So
Honestly,
it's almost a moot point.
yeah,
Mhm.
I wouldn't even say that. Again,
It could be cut.
the movie has done such a good job up until that point. You know what? If you
Yeah.
want those extra 3 minutes,
Yeah.
fucking go for it.
Yeah, it's not worth trying to save them. It doesn't really take away.
Nope.
It's
No.
just it could have been removed and you wouldn't have missed it.
Exactly. That's true. I did like the final scene, but I'll admit it could be cut. But I did like seeing that the ending after it's all said and done, what happens is nice.
Yes.
I did like that. So, but I like to feel good at the end of a movie, so you know,
Now,
that's
like
nice.
there's not even a whole lot of threads left open at the end of the movie, even, which
No,
is impressive.
It wraps it up pretty well.
Yes.
I mean, you have questions, but they're not super relevant plot in most cases,
No.
except for there's one point I have curiosity about. And it's right after Emily blows away Ham and finds the observation passage behind the two-way mirrors. And Miles is laying there shot in the face. She climbs through and she goes down the hall and finds Father Flynn. And you can hear them have a conversation, bits and pieces, down the hallway as they yell at each other.
Yeah.
I would like to have seen that expounded upon.
Yeah, that's the only thing in the movie.
Because
that isn't explained.
it's interesting because the next point with Emily, she's talking to Miles and asking about the other guests and debating whether or not she has to kill them too.
Yeah.
And it stands out because she's tied up Miles, but she had Father Flynn ostensibly and let him go.
Yeah. I don't know if he got away. That's the thing. Did he get away? Did he smooth talk her enough that she just fucking ignored him? I don't know. That's the thing. It doesn't answer.
You can guess that she's talking to Miles back there, but she's far enough away she doesn't hear Rose call Billy.
Right.
And you can only catch snippets as they yell. So it's got to be Father Flynn down the hallway.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the only thing in the movie that is kind of a, I don't know, you know. It's the only thing I think that they kind of did that doesn't get wrapped up or explained.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only, like, I guess, like you could say, it's kind of a plot point that they just kind of gloss over.
Yeah, because I kept expecting the flash to that.
Yeah, and it never does. So that's like the only real mistake, I guess you could say, in the movie, maybe, you know? But otherwise, it's fucking amazing the way it's set up and the way it's built up. It's great.
Well,
honestly, yeah. And like I actually looked up right now to see if there was a like director's cut or something like that. Doesn't seem like it.
No.
Yeah.
I guess there, yeah, as far as I know, there isn't. So,
and
pretty good.
Yeah, I can't fucking complain. Like, it's just a solid fucking film through and through.
Mm-hmm. Which kind of makes it sad that I hadn't heard much about it since it came out, because I remember seeing the advertisements for it and wanting to see it.
Well,
it got decent reviews at the time, but no one talked about it after.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I saw this not even a year after it came out, and I liked it. And then, you know, we've been doing movies now for a year, and it slipped in my mind that I should tell you guys about it. and you stumbled across it. I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen this.
Mhm.
And I should have told you guys about it when I first started
Ironically,
talking.
through a series of conversations about Cohen brothers and Jeff Bridges.
Yeah. I think it's funny that he's named Father Flynn in another movie that has nothing to do with Tron. You
Mhm.
know, I thought that was funny. And I should have remembered it. I just didn't. I should have suggested it to you guys way back when we first started watching. It's just one of those that I kind of it slipped my mind.
Yeah. Like that was the only other comparison I could really draw for this movie, is if you made something along the lines of Big Lebowski in a much more serious fashion.
Mm-hmm.
That's the closest I could really draw the feel here, and that's because nobody's really who they say they are.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
almost like a large case of mistaken identity all the way around.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've talked about a bunch of it. I even if you heard us talk about it, if you haven't seen it, you should go see it. It was a
Definitely.
great movie.
Yeah. In that same vein, we also watched Afterlife, some of us, the new Ghostbusters movie. Worth a watch if you like the originals. I'd say it's probably like beyond Reanimator.
Okay.
Good. Wraps up the trilogy. Not as good as the original. Still worth a
Fair enough.
watch.
Fair enough. That's cool.
Better than the
Yeah.
16 one.
Mhm.
Oh,
It's not a disappointment at all. It's not the
I
best, but it's not a disappointment.
I could probably draw stick figures of the Ghostbusters and make up my own story with stick figures, and it would be better than Ghostbusters 2016. You know,
Yeah.
That's
that was
fair.
that is a. I'm sorry, it's one of the most terrible movies I've ever seen. Maybe not the worst, but it's definitely trying to compete for it.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters 2016 was terrible for me. I did not like it.
Yeah. And this one actually has the conclusion to a joke we've been waiting like 37 years for. So,
Yeah, that too. So,
Yeah.
but
Actually, I got a little curious about what movies actually the fucking Bad Times went up against, and
mhm.
doesn't really look like it had too much up
I
against
think
it.
the one that came out about the same time that a lot of people watched, I could be wrong here, was Knives Out.
No, Knives Out came out in 2019.
Okay, so
Okay.
this
That's it.
predates it.
Yes, it does. Now,
Well, what was in 2018 was Avengers Endgame in 2018? Wasn't that 2018?
Was that 2018?
Maybe.
Or was it 2017?
19.
I remember Endgame being in there somewhere.
19.
And oh, it was 2019. Okay.
Yes, that was after it, but during like September of 2018 when this came out, Predator.
Oh, this beats that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what it went up against was Predator, The Nun, John English 3, Mandy, and was there anything else?
Maybe we stumbled across a recent under the radar movie. I don't know.
Venom.
Okay. Venom might have taken a lot of the attention at the time.
That might have, yeah.
Think so, yeah. That and Predator.
Yeah.
Maybe some of the movies from the month before. Oh, yeah, the Black Klansman.
Most of the movies you've mentioned, in my opinion, probably aren't as good as this.
Oh no.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, I remember Knives Out from being advertised around the same time as this, even though it would be out a year later. Similar
be.
enough advertisements and movie theme, you'll forget the first movie.
Yeah, that's true.
And the
Could be.
basic
So
of this,
even just advertising around it could have gotten this movie forgotten.
and ironically enough, it has another fucking Marvel actor in Knives Out, fucking Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Who knows? Like, fuck.
That's the thing. If people could predict what's going to be good and what's going to be a good movie and what isn't, you know, if people had the ability to predict that, shit movies wouldn't get made anymore, and great movies would not fly under the radar, and nobody would necessarily notice them. Like, yeah,
True.
I don't know.
But that also takes away from that discovering a small movie that people might not have fucking seen.
Well, that's what we're. Isn't that what we're trying to do? Discover movies that people might not remember,
Or at least shine light on ones that should have.
Yeah,
Yes,
because
like-
this is one of those that should have, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this is like one of the like top 15 that we've talked about that really flew under the radar and no one talks about anymore.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like this and Six String Samurai. And
Yeah, Six String Samurai suffered. I mean, okay, it's a weird movie to begin with. We'll be fair there, but
Yeah.
it basically went right underneath the fucking radar when it came out. Same with Bunraku.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I don't know. I have never seen very much talk about this movie, and I think that it deserves to have a little bit more attention.
yes. Yes, it does. So fucking watch it if you haven't. That it's worth the 2 hours that it demands.
Yeah.
Out of you.
If you can sit through Pulp Fiction and enjoy it, you can sit through this and enjoy it.
Yes.
Don't worry about the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Other than that, I can't think of anything else to discuss.
Can content coming soon. Other than that, you can catch me on ARC stuff, Rata on Side Quest, and Blackout on his own stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm around.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
We will at some point sit down and try to work out some time to watch Mamma Mia.
And Mamma Mia, here we go again.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Can we not do that back to back?
Yes, we shall do it back to back.
It has to be back to back for the
Yeah.
debate.
I might have to get I might have to drink or something. I don't know if I could do it. Like right now, my brain's like, run to the hills. Just go run, crawl in a hole, and never come out. That's kind of what my instincts are telling me.
Well, see, that's gonna be a 4.5. Almost 4 hours worth of movies that we're gonna sit through with some of the same music playing, Rad.
I know.
I hope you like ABBA.
Otherwise, you're fucked.
I didn't know that point before. That just made it worse. Shit. Not a big ABBA fan. Great. So I have that to look forward to. That's great.
Well, to be fair, the sequel isn't as bad as the first one.
Al, maybe we could try to do this as a Christmas thing and actually stream us watching it. So everyone can watch the misery in real time.
No. That could be bad. But yeah.
We're gonna do some mistakes.
But on that note, everyone, y'all have a good day.
Yeah. Take care, everybody.
Kill us now.
Oh, no.